Welcome to the Christian Romance Podcast, where we go behind the books with inspiring Christian romance authors, exploring faith, love, and the journey that brings the story to life. I'm your host, Kelly Jo Wilson, and today we're welcoming back Toni Shiloh. Toni is a wife, mom, and award-winning Christian contemporary romance author. Her novel, In Search of a Prince, won the first ever Christie Amplify Award. It has also been praised by Oprah Daily, Pop Sugar, Library Journal, and Booklist, and is a Parable Group bestseller. Her books have been finalists for the Holt Medallion and the Selah Award. As a member of American Christian Fiction Writers, Toni loves connecting with readers and authors alike. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the episode so you can hear more about our newest book giveaway for this month. Now, here's my conversation with Toni. Hi, Toni. I am so happy to have you back on the Christian Romance Podcast. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you last time, so looking forward to today.
Oh my gosh, I could talk to you all day. Okay, we were talking about so much even before this, and I'm sure we will talk about so much, but I want the listeners, so just in case the listeners maybe have not heard of you, which I'm not sure if that's possible, and have not read one of your wonderful books, why don't you say a little bit about yourself, your background, and the kind of books and the stories that you like to write?
Sure. So, as you said, my name is Toni Shiloh. I write Christian contemporary romances. I like to call them soulfully romantic because you'll definitely get glimpse behind, African American culture. You'll get the Christian faith elements all the time, and obviously you'll get all the feels romance between the hero and heroine. But yeah, so those are the books I've been writing for the past 10 years now. This year will be my 10th year being published. And I love it. And when I'm not writing, I'm usually hanging out with my husband or playing video games with the family. Normal everyday stuff.
I love that you say normal everyday stuff. To me, video games is normal everyday stuff because I'm also a boy mom, but I don't know if a lot of our listeners are going, yes, I am playing video games. What video games are you playing? Are you playing Fortnite?
No, so we're big on Call of Duty.
Oh, that's right. Call of Duty. Yes, we talked about this. Yes. Me and my husband used to play Call of Duty all the time too, and it was the best. Now we are into Fortnite and it's into a new season, and I got to win before everyone else in my house. And it was a big celebration because I'm not very good.
No, that definitely deserves to be celebrated.
Yes, it's celebrated. It's celebrated. Oh my gosh. And I love that you're playing Call of Duty. Oh, do your sons play with you?
Yeah, so one of them does. The other one, he doesn't have it on his console. And it's so funny because I picked up my son, the oldest, because he gets out early because he's a senior in high school this year. And I was like, yeah, we were playing this one board and, we just died. And he's like, that's because I wasn't there.
He's like, you needed my help, Mom. Do you guys do teams?
Yeah, usually.
Okay. I used to love doing the free-for-all. Like just running around, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And my husband, like he used to be like, oh, okay, babe, you want me to help you? I'm like, dude, you did not even know that you can customize your weapons until I told you. Yes.
I didn't know that.
He did not know that. And when he first started playing, that you could make classes. You know how you make classes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, so don't tell me that you need to help me.
So they just released Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles skins.
Oh, that's so fun.
So I'm Raph. And I can add the sigh.
You are so funny. They did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab in Fortnite. And I was always Raph too. I was always Raph.
I actually wanted Mikey.
Yeah.
But my oldest called dibs. And so I was like, well, now that I'm angry, I'll definitely be Raph.
Now that I have the attitude to go along with him.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I know. Absolutely. He was always like the angry one, the
he
loner.
Just needed a hug.
Yeah, he just needed a hug. He needed a hug. Do you remember the movie? Did you ever watch the movie? Oh my God. I remember whenever that came out. It was like the best. I remember seeing it in the theaters and I'm like, this is so odd. I loved that movie. I still like it.
Yeah.
It has stood the test of time from the early 90s. But that is so fun. I love that you guys play. That's amazing. You also have done a lot of fun things that first of all, readers, listeners, you have to go and follow. I will have links in the show notes to Toni's Instagram and everything, and you have to go follow her because she does so many fun things, and I live vicariously through you, Toni.
Aw.
So, talk about the Hallmark event that you went to. I know we talked a little bit about it before we started recording, but just talk a little bit about that, how fun that was.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to, I think they were calling it the Hallmark Christmas extravaganza, I think. Don't quote me. Um, but what happened was one day I was doing, the mindless scroll on Instagram, and I saw like a little sponsored post from Hallmark about a Christmas event they were doing where you could see the cast, have some fun. And at first I almost kept scrolling, but then I was like, you know what? It doesn't hurt to take a couple of minutes, fill it out, and see if I win. And then, when time passed, I totally forgot all about it. But a email popped up from Hallmark saying that I won and that I could bring a guest. And I was like in shock because I love Hallmark, like all things Hallmark. I'm not just a Christmas movie watching Hallmark person. I'm a all the year round Hallmark movie watching person. So I was geeking out, even though it was freezing cold because it was Christmas time, obviously. Um, I showed up. They gave us hats, Santa hats. They gave us, light up necklaces. They had cocoa, all the things you loved. And then the stars were there. I made lots of recordings, took lots of pictures. Like from that whole event, when I scroll through my phone, it's just like a sea of red.
Just Hallmark Christmas extravaganza photos and pictures. But that's like kind of a once in a lifetime, especially because you're like entering this little contest and it's like a contest thing. You're winning. Could you even buy tickets?
No, no, it was like a sweepstakes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's amazing. I love it. I love that you took so many videos and because I was totally like, what is this? Whenever you were sharing that, I'm like, look what she got to do. This is amazing. I was like, watch the videos. It's so, so unbelievably fun.
yeah, it
Especially
was.
who were some of the, you said Andrew Walker was there. And
Yes, he
then,
was there. Kimberly Sustad was there. Sir Darius Blaine, he plays Fridge in Jumanji. He was there.
awesome.
I mean, like all your favorites and a couple of new ones you haven't seen in a lot of movies, but you hope are going to be there.
Yes, absolutely awesome. Who does Fritch play in a Hallmark movie?
Yes, he. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Give me. Was it Christmas on Call? I think. Yeah, it was Christmas on Call.
Christmas on Call. Who was in that one? Was it him with
It was him with Sarah Canning.
is she the one
So
that's married to I forget his name, but he's cute. He has like the real dark hair. He played in the When Calls the Heart.
I have no idea. I actually am not a When Calls the Heart fan.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I like the movies.
Yeah, so for a little bit I was watching the Chesapeake Bay one.
Oh, okay.
That was really good, and I honestly don't remember why I stopped. I probably just forgot. And then by the time you remember, you're like, wait, I missed so many episodes. Like, I can't go back now. Like, I'm gonna be like, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think Chesapeake Bay ones. Was that a couple years ago?
Yeah, so it started a while back, but it has the guy, what's his name? Brennan? Um,
Jesse, is that the
he,
one with Jesse Hutch?
I don't know. Emily Earlip, I think she's in it.
It's probably good.
It's yeah, it is. Okay, it's Jesse Metcalf
Oh yeah,
is
Jesse
in it.
Metcalf. That's why I was. Yes, yes.
It's Chesapeake Shores. I'm probably thinking Bay because Maryland's just right near me. But Brendan Penny is the guy who's in it. He's in a movie with Lacey Chabert where they're both chefs. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
were on the debate team competing in high school, and then they meet up again.
Yes, that was a very cute movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
him. He's in it, so it was good. It had a great lineup.
Yeah,
I
that's
just,
good. And I feel
yeah,
like once you have your faves too, which I have so many, it's like hard. I don't think there's any that I don't like, that I don't like.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, cause they all just do such a cute job. And just it's so funny because my husband will make fun of me sometimes in a sweet way. Like he thinks it's sweet, but he's like, "What's gonna happen today, Cal?" You know, like he'll do and I'm like, "Stop." There's so many things in life that are depressing and sad. There's so much brokenness, okay? And this is uplifting and it's happy and it's nice, you know. I said, I mean, really, I'm just sitting here curled up with you know, in a blanket. Don't make fun of me, you know, but he thinks it's funny.
my kids have actually like narrated the two versions that you can get from the movies, like the stereotypical format. Like it was hilarious. I was like, why this is cute. What you're doing is funny. I'm there for it. I don't care
Yeah.
if it's just these two versions of movies. I want it.
Absolutely. I feel the exact same way. Like, I don't even care. I'm here for the trips and I'm here for the cheesy. Give
Yeah.
me the cheesy, like they gotta save 9 kittens and stuff. It's fine with me. I dig it. I don't care. It's fun. I love that you're the same way too. And I love that you won. What a gift. I mean,
It was
that's God's like looking out for you. Hey, he's like,
definitely.
especially around Christmas time. It's such a wonderful gift. So you have this wonderful series that you've been writing in. And the last time you were here, we talked a little bit about A Run at Love,
Hmm.
which was so this series is the Love in the Spotlight series. Now, A Run at Love, that's not the first one though. What's the first book in the series?
The first book is The Love
The
Script.
Love Script, yes. Do you want to talk a little bit about each book in the series? That way, because you have the nature of love now.
Yeah, sure. So I started off with the Love Script, which is a fake dating celebrity romance. So basically, what happens is paparazzi shoots a photo of our hero and heroine that looks like it's a compromising photo, and since our hero is a Christian, paparazzi basically questions his faith.
Mm.
So they decide to fake date to save his reputation. So that's book one and all the fun that comes with it. And then book two, for a recap, if you didn't hear the last episode I was in, A Run at Love, features a Kentucky derby trainer and his best friend who owns a horse that she wants to enter into the Kentucky Derby. So it's your childhood best friends to more. It's also an interracial romance because she is African and was adopted by white parents, and he's a Caucasian hero. And so it's the whole like they don't want to ruin their friendship, but of course they both are secretly in love with each other. And then you get to The Nature of Love, which just released. It's the final book in the series, and it's the midlife romance because both of the characters are in their 40s. It's also so my heroine, Erica Kennedy, she's a doctor. She's an orthopedic surgeon, and she meets Christian Gamble, who's a wildlife conservationist. He's also a YouTuber. They could not be any more opposites, but they have this kind of like meet twice instead of just one meet cute. They meet twice, become friends, and then slowly but surely, the hero, basically saves her during a hard time. I don't want to give it away in case you guys haven't read it, but he's there for her and basically shows her what friendship looks like, what real love looks like, what God looks like all the things. It's probably my favorite of the series. They're all connected because the three guys, the three heroes, are friends. So throughout each book, you'll get their text threads of them
Oh.
texting each other, um, which I found hilarious. I don't know if that's me being biased or if they're actually funny, but you can tell me. Um,
Oh, I'm sure it's hilarious, especially the guys being friends. My goodness, just all their different personalities. Oh, that's so fun. I love that you did that.
yeah, exactly.
That sounds amazing. I first of all, orthopedic surgeon, wildlife conservationist, and YouTuber. Yes, girl. They are different. And I'm so here for the opposites attract. That's like such a fun trope. And I have to say, just for our listeners, that you do friends to lovers, like the friendship, building the friendship, or having the friendship already to lovers so well. Like you,
Thank
the
you.
pacing is like perfect. And it's never like too much on the one side or too much, you know what I mean? Which sometimes it is. Sometimes it can be like the one character likes the other a little bit more.
Yeah.
You give each their appropriate timing, like each one, you just know how to write it. You can just do it. You build it so well. And I love Friends to Lovers, and I like the slow burn too. So Friends to Lovers usually is like the kind of a slower burn.
It does.
But even if they become, like you said, how they become friends, he helps her, he saves her. I love that, because to have the love, you really have to have the friendship first anyway, right? You have to like learn to trust somebody. So if he's helping her and saving her from a difficult time, and showing her like what faith looks like and everything, like you said, I mean, that's such a wonderful foundation for a really good relationship, a really, at least a good start, a good happy for now. Hopefully happily ever after.
Exactly.
That sounds great. I love it. What gave you the idea for the two, like the opposites?
It's funny that's just kind of for their story, that's just how it happened. Sometimes I'm more intentional, like I'm actually actively brainstorming, and I want like a foil to pair them opposite so that they'll see that when they come together it complements it. But in that case it just how it came out, like she was just a doctor and he was a wildlife conservationist. um, and it's one of those things like when you have the idea you're like, ooh, no, this is good, but then when you go to like execute it you're like, okay, did I make this too difficult for myself to write? It's like, oh, that pesky research is going to get me if I can't figure this out.
I was wondering that. What did the research look like at least for the surgeon? Do you have any like doctors in your family or like medical personnel?
No. Well, we have nurses in my family, but I just asked some doctors. I'm like, hey, can you tell me, does this sound right? Because, the internet can only tell you so much. And sometimes you don't know if what the internet is telling you is actually the truth. So, yeah, I definitely had to ask somebody, please tell me if I'm doing this right. Because otherwise,
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you did, especially because I am a nurse. I am not at the bedside anymore, but I will tell you that every single show, medical drama, I'm like, please employ medical
gone
personnel,
full.
because
Yeah.
some of them get it right. Don't get me wrong. I usually, but it's like kind of a running joke among like, Facebook nursing groups and stuff. It's like, look at this, but they'll share like pictures like, what is that doing in their mouth? That's not a breathing tube. But they have to work with what they have, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just curious because I know with me, even in my own writing, I try to, because I have like medical, it's hard for me to not put medical in there in everything. I have to like scale back. But well, how did it look for the wildlife person?
So I actually knew someone. So I picked his brain, which helps because I don't like asking strangers. It just feels weird to go, hey, I'm a writer. Can I pick your brain? Um, like I've done it. It makes me uncomfortable. So it's a lot better when I know the person because then I can be like, they already know I'm a writer. Like I don't have to say that. I just like, hey, I have a story idea and I need to know this. Okay, like, can you tell me what I need?
Yes, yes, because then
Yeah.
you don't have that explanation behind it. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
take the I'm not, I really just want it to be authentic. It's okay. You don't have
Yeah,
to
exactly.
share everything. If you feel weird, but yes. Oh, that's funny. That's fun that you knew somebody like that, because I feel like that puts it. So why don't you talk a little bit about the setting too? Like where does the majority of the setting take place?
So it's a Colorado setting,
Oh,
someplace I've only driven through. So I definitely, again, another person I asked someone who lived there to like read this, make sure it sounds like Colorado, just because that's one of my favorite things to do. Actually, is like if the reader has lived there, like does it sound authentic? Even if I've visited a place, I still would rather have a reader who's lived there
hmm,
because visiting is so much different than actually staying in a place 24/7 forever. Um,
yep.
so I found like there are so many pretty things about Colorado, and it's one of those things I knew it in the back of my brain that Colorado's pretty. I've seen authors who live there post pictures and be like, "Oh, that's beautiful," but it's another thing like when you're actually actively researching and you're like, "Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's nice." So you're like, "How can I translate that so that people will actually feel it?" So I hoped I did it. But I don't know. I love the characters more. Um, so I think the character probably came through more than the setting.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I was just curious, especially like knowing that he's this like wildlife guy. That is it going to
Yeah.
be like in the woods, but in Colorado, that makes so much sense too. You know, it's just because it's just so pretty up there. I'm sure you did it well. Ugh, you are too modest. Okay. You rocked it, I'm sure. So, one of the questions that I saw that you had within your media kit, which I thought was really interesting, and I wanted to ask you, about the balance. So, like their love, their relationship, how does it balance the career success and then the personal fulfillment? I thought that was a really interesting question. And because it's not, we don't really talk about that much like on the show. But I feel like that's a really important thing because we all feel like this sense of purpose. We all want to
Mhm.
have this sense of purpose. And especially as Christians, we have like God calling us into a specific path. How does that relate to this like personal, but also my career is like usually so ingrained in us, right?
Right.
Yeah. How did you kind of interweave that?
Um, that to me was actually fun to write. Probably not for the characters, but both of them they're kind of like at the top, right? So one's a surgeon, and she's spent her entire life devoted to her studies. So she has no life outside of the hospital, like none. And it's sad. And you see, like when you get to know her story, you realize why she is the way she is. And then in Chris's case, he got jilted, and
Mm.
it kind of made him draw inward, right? He lost some friends in the process. So he has nothing but time to devote to work. And so them meeting each other, when they meet each other, gives them that perspective like your job is not all there is to life. Like there's more, there are people, and you have people for a reason. If like you cannot make it through trials and hard times without a community. It's almost impossible. So forcing them both to kind of like slow down and like ask them like what's the true meaning to life, what really matters. um I was fun because I've been in like a season of slow down myself. Don't forget the people God put in your lives. Like writing is never going to go away, and it's not like a race. And I think sometimes we get in the mindset like you have to race, like you only have a certain amount of years for a job, when it's not, it's not reality. Like the people are what matters the most.
Yeah, that's such a wonderful point. I love that you address that and how and you're so right. It's absolutely true. Like we can't it's really easy because life is just busy, 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 right? There's always like the next thing. I know
Yeah.
one of the I usually listen to Charles Stanley in Touch Ministries every day and do like that Bible study from like kind of branched off of the message for the day. And it's been talking about fellowship, like fellowship with Jesus and how it's just so easy for us to just say, you know, there's not enough time. I don't have enough time to read the Bible or sit with him or just even spend time with people that we care about or be intentional about certain things because we're working hard or and it's hard when like how you address like the career and then the personal fulfillment like the friendships and then the career. It's not like career is a horrible thing. It's a good thing,
Right.
right? Because we work even in our work, you know, and all we do for the Lord. But there is some things that you might have to leave behind or you might have to set aside to make time for what's truly, you know, your priority or what truly matters. So, and it's hard. It's a hard decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we in this world, I mean, this world favors us go, go, go.
Yeah.
You know, there's always something to do for sure in every aspect. I feel like that's one thing that me and my writers group we always talk about, like as moms, and I'm sure you can identify with this too, just as mom and wife and having a career and doing these different things. It's tough. It's hard. Sometimes you feel like you're 25% everywhere. Like you're never,
You're never a
like
100.
exactly. You're never 100%. It's like you're always just the fractions of you are everywhere. And 100% maybe whenever you get to sleep is
Yeah.
like 100% at this
After you're done
bedtime.
running that list of things you need to do the next day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Remembering in the shower, like, oh, I forgot to do this. Yeah, totally. It's go, go, go. So yeah, I love that. I love that you address it too in the characters because it's so nice to be able to sit down, enjoy a book, enjoy a story, but also kind of live ourselves through it, and you
Mhm.
do that so well. I felt like that with your stories, with especially like in the friends to lovers stories, how it's just so authentic. Like the characters are just very authentic, very real, and their faith is very real too, and they like struggle with real things. So I think that that's because it just is true. We're Christians, we have Jesus. Absolutely, Jesus was perfect, we are not.
Right, exactly.
We struggle. So I love that. I love that you interwove that. We are almost at time, but I wanted to give you a little bit of time to talk about. So I know last time you were here, you gave us a verse that was really encouraging to you just in your journey. And is there a verse? Now, you said you like to do a verse of the year, like your verse that kind of guides you for the year, which I absolutely love that. I think that is so inspiring and just something that I might have to shamelessly steal. Shamelessly stealing Bible
No,
verses.
no shame, no shame.
I know, no shame, no shame. But do you want to talk about your verse for this year and why you really identify with that verse, why it speaks to your heart?
Yeah, so it kind of corresponds with like the word of the year thing.
Mm,
I've been doing that for a while now. Um, and then at first it was just the word I held on to, but in the last few years, God's put a verse on my heart so that I can remember like why I'm holding on to that word and why it's important. And so for this year, my word is grace. And there
mm,
are so many good, scriptures in there, but the one he reminded me was the my grace is sufficient for thee. Um, and that really speaks to me. I have a chronic pain illness that I go through.
mm,
So remembering that His grace is all I need to get through the day, to get through the week, whatever is bothering me, like that definitely gets me through. And so I have a little screen shot of it, the scripture on my phone,
mm.
so I can look at it every time I pick up my phone. I can just read it and remind myself to remember grace, to remember God's grace.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that's so encouraging. I'm sorry that you have to deal with the chronic pain. It's so distracting all the time. Like, whenever you're dealing with really, though, like, if
Yeah.
I mean, anybody, it's so funny because in nursing school, like, I remember one of our awesome teachers did a demonstration for us, and she told us to press our thumb with like our other thumb and forefinger as hard as we possibly can. And she said, don't let up, press your thumb and as hard as you can until it hurts, right? And then hold it. And then as we were doing it, it's like she's trying to teach, she starts teaching something. And she goes, now tell me what you remember from what I just taught you. And we're like, what are you talking about? And she's like, exactly. When you're in pain, you're not it's distracting, it's constant, it's affecting everything. It affects the way you think. It really can affect your mental health.
Yep.
Just because if it's not going away, like you said, if it's chronic, pain syndrome or fatigue and things like that you have to manage, it's just, yeah, it can really, really affect everything. So I am so sorry that you are going through that. I am so sorry, but I love that you have God's love and God's verse to help guide you and give you some encouragement every day.
Yes, He's been good to me through the whole thing. So, and books, writing books. helps. Reading books help.
Yes, absolutely. And watching Hallmark movies helps.
Exactly.
It's a very nice escape.
Very
Just
needed.
getting cozy with the blankets and the cocoa all year round. I'm so like you. I'm an all year round Hallmarky as well. I love chatting with you, Toni. I know I can talk with you for another hour, but I want to be respectful of your time. So why don't you let our listeners know where the best place is that they can connect with you, and then also get your wonderful new book, The Nature of Love, and also the series.
Yeah, so the best place you can find all the information you need is my website, tonishiloh.com. You'll see links to my books, including the series. You'll also find link to subscribe to my newsletter. You'll get a free novella when you subscribe for the first time. And then all my social media links are on my website as well. I'm most active on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, you have to follow her on those because you will be able to live a very exciting, fun life through Toni's experiences and her sweepstakes that she wins. That's been me. I'm like weirdly creeping on you. Um, did you want to mention anything about the upcoming events that you are going to be at, the author events?
Yes, so I'm going to be at a local signing in Ashburn at Blend Coffee Bar March 2nd. That's from 1 to 4, and it's a multi-author event. So not just me, but there'll be like 20 other authors there as well. And then in October, I'll be at Ink and Indie, which is in Maryland, in Chestertown. That's also a multi-author event, and it's over a couple of days too, so you get to have more fun with authors. And then I will be one of the keynote speakers at Just Read Rendezvous in St. Louis, which I'm really excited about because I get to keynote with Jamie Jo Wright, who's
Yes.
amazing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's amazing. And congratulations to you. I love that they have you as the keynote speaker. I think it's absolutely wonderful. You know, you've been doing this for 10 plus years. You have just done so many amazing things and written so many wonderful stories. I think that you're going to just rock it completely. And Jamie Jo Wright is absolutely hilarious. I
Yeah,
have
she is.
no idea how you are going to stay on task
We'll
keynoting with
laugh off.
her.
We'll laugh
Oh,
our
I
way
know.
through it.
I know. She is so funny. She had me just cracking up the whole time whenever I interviewed her. And I like sounds like an amazing time. So thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for just chatting with us today and coming back on the show. You are welcome anytime. I love to talk, hear about your stories and hear more about what's going on in your life. And just thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to hit subscribe and tap the bell to get notified of new episodes. We love blessing our listeners with exclusive interviews and, of course, amazing books. Each month, we host the themed book giveaway where you can win a selection of Christian romance novels and a few extra goodies, too. This month's theme is Royally in Love. We're giving away 5 swoon-worthy Christian romance books featuring crowns, courage, and Christ-centered love. From modern-day kingdoms to fantasy realms, these stories will sweep you off your feet in the best kind of fairy tale way. Whether you're listening as the episode drops or catching up later, no worries. You'll always find the link to the current giveaway on our website, christianromancepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, keep your faith, share the love, and happy reading.